Wealth begins long before any bank account does. It starts in the mind. The top 1% don't stumble upon money by accident. They see the world differently. Where most people see limits and obstacles, they see opportunities waiting to be seized. This isn't just optimism, it's a disciplined approach to perception. Every decision they make is filtered through the lens of growth and potential. They don't let fear or doubt dictate their actions. Instead, they constantly ask themselves, how can I turn this challenge into an advantage? By training your mind to focus on possibilities rather than problems, you begin to open doors that were invisible before. Thinking like the top 1% requires abandoning the conventional scripts that society hands out. Many people grow up believing that wealth is a result of luck, inheritance, or a high-paying job. But the truth is that money favors those who think strategically and act decisively. To shift your mindset, you must first take responsibility for your financial reality. Stop blaming circumstances, stop waiting for permission, and stop seeing yourself as a victim of the system. Every successful person has faced setbacks and failures, but they view these as lessons rather than dead ends. When you start seeing setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow, your mind naturally begins to align with the behaviors that generate wealth. Another crucial aspect of a wealthy mindset is investing in yourself relentlessly. Top earners understand that skills, knowledge, and personal growth compound over time, much like money does. They dedicate themselves to learning, practicing, and mastering what they do. Even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient, reading books, seeking mentors, attending seminars, and experimenting in real-life situations are not optional, they are essential. By constantly upgrading your abilities, you increase your value and expand the range of opportunities available to you. This mindset of continuous self-improvement sets the foundation for financial freedom. Finally, thinking like the top 1% requires seeing beyond instant gratification. Most people are trapped in the cycle of spending today what they earn tomorrow, chasing temporary pleasures rather than long-term gains. The wealthy delay gratification, think strategically, and focus on compounding advantages. They visualize their goals clearly, create a roadmap to reach them, and take consistent steps every day to move closer to that vision. Developing this mindset is not a one-time exercise, it's a daily practice. By committing to growth, opportunity, and strategic thinking, you start seeing money not just as a resource, but as a tool to create freedom, choice, and the life you truly desire. Most people spend their lives trading time for money, believing that working harder or longer hours will automatically lead to wealth. The truth is, this approach creates limits because time is finite. The top 1% understand that money should work for them, not the other way around. They leverage assets, investments, and multiple streams of income to create financial momentum that doesn't depend on their daily effort. The key is to shift your focus from earning a paycheck to building systems that generate wealth continuously. Once you embrace this mindset, you begin to see money as a tool rather than a constraint, and opportunities that were invisible before suddenly appear. Learning the difference between assets and liabilities is fundamental to this shift. Many people accumulate things that look like wealth, cars, gadgets, luxury items, but these actually drain resources over time. Wealthy individuals, on the other hand, focus on acquiring assets that generate income, such as stocks, real estate, or businesses. Each dollar invested strategically becomes a seed that grows over time, producing more money while they sleep. By thinking in terms of assets, you're not just increasing your bank balance, you're building freedom and options for your future. Diversification is another secret to making money work for you. Relying on a single source of income is risky because life is unpredictable. The wealthy often combine investments, side businesses, intellectual property, and other income streams to create resilience and opportunity. Each income stream compounds the others, amplifying growth and stability. You don't need to start big, even small. Consistent investments in different areas can snowball into significant wealth over time. The key is consistent action and smart allocation, understanding where your money can work hardest without exposing you to unnecessary risk. Finally, mastering money means thinking long-term. The top 1% don't chase quick wins. They create sustainable financial growth that compounds over years or decades. Patience, discipline, and strategy are your allies. Automate investments, reinvest returns, and focus on opportunities that build momentum over time. By making money work for you, you free yourself from the limitations of trading hours for dollars. You gain the ability to pursue your goals, take risks intelligently, and create a life defined by choice rather than obligation. This shift in perspective is transformative. It turns money from a source of stress into a source of power and freedom. Most people avoid risk because they associate it with loss or failure. But the top 1% understand that risk is not the enemy, it's an essential tool for growth and wealth creation. The difference is that they take calculated risks, not reckless ones. Every decision is weighed with knowledge, strategy, and foresight. They analyze potential outcomes, prepare for challenges, and then act decisively. By learning to view risk as opportunity rather than danger, you start to see paths that most people miss. The moment you embrace risk strategically, doors open that were previously invisible, and your potential for wealth multiplies. Taking calculated risks begins with education and preparation. The wealthy never leap blindly. They research, plan, and simulate scenarios before committing their resources. This could mean studying the stock market, understanding real estate trends, or learning the ins and outs of a new business venture. Knowledge reduces uncertainty and increases confidence. Even if a risk doesn't lead to immediate success, it provides lessons and insights that are invaluable. Each calculated step forward builds momentum and resilience, allowing you to take bigger, smarter risks over time. Another essential aspect is emotional control. Most people let fear dictate their decisions. They hesitate, overthink, or avoid opportunities entirely. The wealthy control their emotions and act with clarity and discipline. They accept that fear is natural but don't let it paralyze them. Instead, they use it as a signal to prepare better and plan smarter. Embracing risk doesn't mean being fearless, it means being strategic, informed, and courageous. Every bold action you take with preparation and foresight brings you closer to financial mastery. Finally, embracing calculated risks transforms the way you see growth itself. Instead of playing it safe and settling for mediocrity, you learn to pursue high-reward opportunities that accelerate wealth creation. Risk becomes a tool to unlock potential, leverage resources, and multiply results. Those who avoid risk remain confined by their comfort zones, while those who embrace it grow exponentially. By adopting this mindset, you're no longer waiting for luck. You're creating your own opportunities, shaping your future, and building a life where your resources, vision, and courage work together to achieve extraordinary results. The journey to mastering money doesn't stop once you've earned your first success. It's continuous. The top 1% understand that the world is always changing, markets shift, technology evolves, and industries transform. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. That's why they commit to constant learning and adaptation. Knowledge is their leverage, and they treat it like a compounding asset. Every book they read, every course they take, every insight they gain adds to a mental toolkit that allows them to spot opportunities, anticipate challenges, and stay ahead of the curve. Learning alone isn't enough. Action is what turns knowledge into results. Many people consume information but never implement it. The wealthy, however, combine learning with immediate application. They experiment, test ideas, and take calculated steps based on what they've learned. Even mistakes are valuable because they provide real-world lessons that accelerate growth. By taking consistent action, you transform ideas into assets, knowledge into income, and ambition into tangible results. Progress isn't about perfection, it's about movement. learning from each step and continuously improving. Consistency is the secret that multiplies impact. The top 1% don't rely on sudden breakthroughs or luck. They rely on disciplined, persistent effort. Daily habits, reading, studying markets, networking, investing time wisely, compound over months and years to create extraordinary outcomes. By dedicating yourself to constant growth and disciplined action, you build momentum that carries you forward even when challenges arise. Each small step, repeated consistently, positions you to take advantage of opportunities that others overlook. Over time, these incremental actions create massive, long-lasting results. Finally, continuous learning and action transform not just your financial life, but your entire perspective. You develop confidence, foresight, and resilience. You start thinking ahead, anticipating change, and creating solutions rather than reacting to problems. The top 1% are not simply lucky, they are prepared, proactive, and relentless in their pursuit of mastery. By committing to lifelong learning and decisive action, you empower yourself to navigate uncertainty, seize opportunities, and create wealth that grows exponentially. Your future is shaped not by chance, but by the knowledge you acquire and the actions you take today.